Thank you. Hello, my name is Anja van Rijen and I'm an artist. Pictures and images become more and more important in this world. And I think it's very important you can have your own personal image. But is that possible? Is there a place for art, especially for you? Sorry. First, I have to tell you about my past. As a student, I was very busy. I loved all the new materials and all the new techniques I had to learn. And I really made a lot of stuff. But I had a teacher who came very important for me. Maybe you know her. It's Marlene Dumas, who has an exhibition now at the Stedelijk Museum in Amsterdam. And she told me one line that became very important. One day I had made a lot of stuff again, and she just looked at me and looked at all my stuff, and she said, "Anja, make sure it's really yours." And I was totally puzzled. I made all that stuff, but it wasn't mine. It didn't connect. It didn't have my signature. So for years I studied in my studio, making images and sculptures, finding out how could I connect, how could I make a signature. And when I finally found out what was my signature, how I could connect, I wanted to look at my work in another way. And I discovered I have three kinds of art. And the first kind of art are the ants of ceramic. They are quite realistic. They are a little bit shy. They are about everyday life, and it's a lot of fun to make because each one has its own character. And the second kind of art I make is sperm art. I know I'm one of the few female in the world who makes sperm, but I made installations with them. It's about being a unique, personal individual and having the same goals. We all want to have a nice, perfect partner, and we all want to be happy. We have soulmates. And the third kind of art I make are the line images. They are all about what's the essence of the story I want to tell. So then they can be in ceramic, or in glass, on canvas, or on paper. They can be in metal, and then they also can be very big, or they can be used, like here, in a picture. Well, that are my three kinds of art I make. But I also had customer work. People who knew me, who knew my three kinds of work, and who knew exactly what was important to them. So I made art for celebrate a wedding anniversary or a birthday, just celebrating life, or a child who graduated from university and become a doctor. These were the happy occasions. But there were also sad occasions. Parents who had to bury their child, and only the stone did not express their big loss. So we created together this monument for them. And a young woman who knew she had to leave life, and she wanted a sculpture of her beloved family, and she wanted to be a real part of it. If you have such a story to tell, you are important. And when we look at it all, you can see that it's all still a lot of materials, a lot of techniques. It's all me. It has all my signature. And from my clients, you can tell they knew me, they knew my work, and they knew what was important for them. They gave me a framework where I could work in. And I discovered I could really connect with my art
and I also could really connect with my clients. But then it becomes difficult because I make high qualified products, but I don't have a dealer network and I don't want a dealer network. I want to connect with my clients. I want to grow, but I don't want to make a mass product because I still think that you as a unique human being, you must have a unique personal piece of art. It must be possible. So, and it's difficult because these people knew me, but is it possible to really connect with people I don't know? So I had to break through borders, and I decided to take the challenge and study the new world of internet. And I discovered now YouTube is bigger than Google. So that confirmed my idea that pictures and images become more and more important for people. And nowadays, when people buy 5 things, 1 thing they buy on the internet. So I start asking people, would you buy art on the internet? And they said, yes, from you I would. Because I know you, I know your art. It isn't always convenient for me to come to your studio. So yes, I would. And other people told me they love to surf on the internet. And they were really satisfied when they found something they liked and it really connected. So I had to decide, I had to embrace the new world of internet. But, well, it's all about art. That's important, your story. It's not about me. But I finally understand that we make it together, so people have to get to know me. And that's why I made a new website with a picture of me on it that was very new. And people can connect there with me because they can read my stories in the blog. They can read the stories of my clients. And there's also a portfolio. And there the magic really happens. People contact me and ask me, please, can I buy that sculpture of yours? And I'm always hesitating, still, always hesitating. Because I think, well, come first to my studio and just look if there is really a connection. And the funny thing is, there is a connection. There are always nice people. There we have a connection, and I understand why they want that specific piece of art. So that's really magic for me. So I finally understand that I must be visible and people must get to know me on the internet. And that's why I'm visible now in the social media. But here I must be very quiet about. And this is my favorite part. This is my newsletter, Visiting Anja, and that's where the art of connecting really happens. It's the place where I tell my stories and people start telling their stories. But it's a private place. It's not about how many likes or connections or how funny answers you can give, but people really want to read the stories. And they don't only tell their stories, but they also ask questions. So, for instance, they told me, I think it's hard to talk about art. I don't know the words and I don't know where to start. And I thought, well, that's important because there are still more pictures and images. It's important and it's also very nice to talk about art. So I started a little training for that. And so we exchanged ideas. And in first, it was not my comfort zone at all, but now I really love it. So in the end, you can say, yes, it is possible to connect with art and to really connect with clients. Yes, there is a place for art, especially for you on the internet. Yes, I love it. I don't have to paddle with my work. And yes, people do find me on the internet, and I love to hear your story. Thank you.